Hey guys, how's it going? Today I want to speak about the subject of what's the weirdest thing about modern life. If you really think about it, we are living in a pretty strange world. We live in a city, we have cars, we have all these things that can be ordered online and they magically arrive at your doorstep. Haven't you ever wondered how this is actually in some way not the natural way, not the way that we were meant to live? In some way I feel that life has evolved so much in the past couple hundred years that people don't realize that our previous generations did not have all the luxuries that we have nowadays, and we just take them for granted because that's what we know, that's how we were born, that's the place that we live in. But even when you look at it just 100 years ago, a city like Los Angeles or pretty much most modern cities, in at least America and stuff like that, well, they weren't cities before. They used to be just parts of farms. And what was normal to them back in the day wouldn't have been normal to us. Back in 100 years ago and stuff like that, I don't think people would take showers every day. People wouldn't take baths. We're very lucky that we live in a society where we're able to do that on a daily basis, because if we weren't doing that, well, we'd have to go to rivers, we'd have to go to the sea, we'd have to go to basically get the water at a well and fill up and recycle that water between the people in the house and stuff like that. And these are things that we don't realize, that also, for example, internet, Amazon, eBay, all these websites where you're able to order stuff online, we take them for granted. And still some societies, some people in other places don't really some way use these things as much, so they still go to local stores and stuff like that. But we, at least in America, we tend to just go for simplicity, for ease. And now I'm seeing more and more as time passes by, people basically going to online shopping for stores, for supermarket stuff. So you don't even have to do that. And then you buy your tickets literally online and all that stuff. And at the same time, also the world is getting so small, because with planes, with just different, the fact that there's so much competition and stuff like that, the prices of flights from one place of the world to the other, it just gets so cheap that everybody is competing. And then with Airbnbs, with Lyfts, with Ubers, with all these things, now the fact of taking a cab or a taxi is much easier. And then also the fact that we have cell phones and the internet and computers in the palm of our hands, and pretty much all of the social media, all the media with Netflix and all these things, everything is instantaneous. And we just think it's normal, but is it really normal? Are we lacking something? For example, we have knee pains, we have back pains, we have a lot of conditions that are linked to the fact that we are not living naturally. If you go to other places where they have to go hunting more and stuff like that, and you're sitting less in a chair, less in an office and stuff like that, well, you don't have elderly people with all these knee problems and stuff like that. And you'd think that they'd have more because, well, they're constantly running, jumping, trying to hunt their stuff. So we, as a modern society, we have created illnesses. We have made it in such a way that we have obesity, in such a way that we have much more diabetes and stuff like that. Some things, of course, can be genetic, but at the same time, when you see the level of how people are so handicapped and stuff like that, yes, you're prolonging their life, but at the same time, they're because of the convenience of the things, they're overeating themselves, or they're overdoing certain things, and they're ending up being pretty bad in their own respective way, which is kind of weird. So it just kind of proves to me that we as a society, we're not really taking care of ourselves in the right way. We're basically hindering ourselves. It's good to have the new technologies. I'm definitely for all of that stuff. Just makes sense. But at the same time, I'm also kind of convinced that we need to also find a way to be more our animalistic side. So that means more towards nature, more towards cooking our own food, less processed stuff, more towards actual human communication and not internet communication. And many of these things, because we just get sucked in the everyday life of modern society and we accept all these things, yet we're not meant to be sitting down for 8 hours a day, staying in an office and just doing the same task over and over again. We're meant to be gatherers, explorers, hunters, and we're meant to be using all our joints and meant to be using our muscles and stuff like that, and not overeating just because it's easy to get all that stuff, because we have this basically it's a thing that we have from the reptile brain in some way, where the things that were sparse in the old days, that we needed sugar and all that stuff, well, it's like cocaine. We have it so available nowadays, whereas it was so rare before. If we saw something with sugar, we'd just eat it. But now if we just have too much sugar, then you just get sick and you get obese and stuff like that. So that's basically what I found about all these subjects and all these things. And I feel that what we do take for granted, what we do take for normal, it's actually not very normal. Maybe it's normal in our modern day society, but is it normal for us to have or to live this way? Or at the same time, you could think too, well, what is normal? Is there really a normal? I don't know. But that's what I had to say on the subject. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.